Hey guys, Soul Patrol Jedi once again for Jedi Knight Reviews. This is part 2 of my talk, or my rant on sports figures and athletes and whatnot. And like I said, to reiterate, you know, these players get paid a hell of a lot more than they make more in one day than some people make an entire year. And if not that, I understand if people make a lot of money, they're gonna have a certain attitude, and they're gonna want to live a certain way. That just comes with the territory. But being in the spotlight like that, and I guess I can stretch this out to the politicians that do it. The politicians that get caught cheating on their wives, and and all kinds of drug scandals and all that stuff, and mayors and whatnot. And I don't know, but like I'll say it again. If I went to my boss and yelled at him like some of these players do and scream and yell at their boss, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't even. They would give me such a bad reference. I wouldn't even be hired anywhere. But these players, they're so in demand and they're so popular. They think they can do whatever they want. And the thing that really pisses me off about this is that, we're paying their salaries. If you think about it, and the money that we have to work for. I've seen people for like Super Bowl tickets and tickets to sporting events and stuff. Some people pay hundreds of dollars to pay to go see you play, and then to see you have an attitude like that. If you listen to the tone of my voice, it's really starting to make my blood boil, because some people work their entire lives and not get anywhere near the fortune that you amass. Some people live in poverty all around the world. And if you get paid, you're complaining about like what you get paid. I only got $5 million. Well, you know how many people in the world love to have half of that money? You know how many people would love to have 1% of what you make? Do you understand? There's people that struggle their entire lives for money and trying to just to survive and raise their kids. And here you are playing a sport and being an asshole about it, and not shutting your fucking mouth. Like I said, we buy your jerseys, we buy your hats, we buy all your merchandise. We sit in those stands and cheer for you, and have to listen to you run your fucking mouth. Now, something that's gotten really bad. I know I was talking about football, but this is I'm talking about team sports now. Basketball has gotten really bad. I'll be honest, I have not watched basketball fully since Michael Jordan retired, for the second time. I didn't watch when he came back for the third time. But basketball is a team sport. Now, basketball players have some of the highest salaries ever. LeBron James is getting paid millions and millions of dollars. Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Kevin Garnett, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki. I can't pronounce his name. You name it. All these players are getting extravagant amounts of money. And the thing about basketball is that basketball is more of a team sport than anything else. And the reason, the thing that chips my hide about sports now is that, especially basketball, is that it's supposed to be a team sport, but just like the thing with Terrell Owens, it's all about me, 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 me. How many points am I going to score in the game? How many times am I going to get the ball? How many times am I going to get to dunk the ball? Now, if you go back and you watch, do yourself a favor, look up old Celtic games or Lakers battles, and look how much their team battles are. Now, go back and watch one of last night's games in SportsCenter. I see, I've seen 3-4 guys trying to block LeBron James, or I'm putting him out as an example because he's one of the most popular, or Kobe or something. I've seen 3 or 4 guys trying to block him, and he's, instead of passing to a teammate who's wide open or something like that, he just like charges through 5 people and tries to make a shot. And most of the time they miss these shots because there's it's pass to the guy that's open. You're getting triple team. Pass to some other player, And it's funny because basketball is a team sport. And like I said, when you're what you're trying to convey is a message to younger players. And you start out, I've seen basketball players arguing with their coaches, and the coaches yelling at them or trying to talk them down, and the players are sitting there rolling their eyes or yelling back at them. You know what? If I was the coach, I would send your ass to the fucking bench, or I'd get you kicked off my team. I don't care how good you are. If you're going to be an asshole, you deserve to play on the team. You know how many people would love to be in the NBA or the NFL or the NHL or anywhere in the MLB? That would take half of your salary or 1/3 of your salary and love to play just for the chance to be there. And that's another thing too, is that, okay, I gotta back up. Sorry. Now, say when that message you're conveying to younger kids is that's the attitude. That's okay. Oh, LeBron does that, so I can do it. I've seen the way it used to be was that the players would start out in the younger leagues, then they go to college, and they play there, and they hone their skills, then they go to the NBA. I've seen several players like LeBron and Kobe go straight to the NBA. And that's the message you're sending to all these kids. You don't need college. You don't need to go to college. You can go and play for the big bucks. And that pisses me off. Because, what if you get hurt in your first season? Or what if you suck? What if you can't play at that level in the NBA? And then you're fucked. Because when you're done with basketball, and when you got to go do something else, you got nothing to fall back on. You understand? And it really pisses me off because, I used to look up to these athletes. I really did when I was younger. I used to idolize the Dallas Cowboys. I used to idolize Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. And Michael Irvin got in a lot of trouble, with his whole drug scandal and stuff that happened with him. And, I see these professional athletes and the people that these kids have to look up to, and it's a fucking disgrace. It really is. The amount they get paid and the amount that they're making is sickening, and to see them act the way they do is fucking ridiculous. One more thing before I close this out. Not saying some players are wimpy. I'm wimpy. If I get hurt constantly. I always fall down at triple 1 feet and stuff. But I've seen players, that don't play because they have an ingrown toenail, or they hurt their pinky, or their back hurts or whatnot or whatever. And this goes back to the money situation. Even if these guys sit on the bench, some of these guys get $10,000 a game, or I'm just making a figure there. Some people don't even make that much a year. Do you understand? And you could play to do that in one game. One game. That's ridiculous. And like I said, we're paying for your stuff. Get your ass out there and play. Stop bitching. Stop running your fucking mouth. Get out there and play, and have a good attitude about it. All right? Like I said, I played baseball for 9 years. I sat on the bench for most of these years, but I like the opportunity to play. And at that level you're at, you need to set an example. You need to stop what you're doing. But it's not just the fault of the players too. It's the owners and the coaches. The coaches that put up with it. The owners that put up with it. The owners that go out, pluck these guys out of nowhere and pay them millions and millions of dollars to come play for their team. And they'll let them get away with all this shit. And the players know that. If your dog pisses on the ground, you rub his nose in it, and the dog's going to learn not to do that again. But if you just tell the dog, bad dog, don't do it again. If you do it again, you're going to get in trouble. I'm going to be mad at you. If the dog could talk, the dog would tell you to fuck yourself. They need to start punishing these players, and they're starting to crack down on them more, which is good. But more needs to be done, and they need to tone down the fucking salaries, okay? This has been a very long rant from Soul Patrol Jedi. You guys check out my other videos. Thanks for listening.